Welcome to the Vault XL. This commentary is pertaining to the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. The Proudfoots have given an interview with News 4. Katie Proudfoot gave a singular interview with News 17 Fox, and we will dissect this said information. We're going to bring him home. I'm trying to figure out how you're going to do that. How are you going to bring him home? Help me understand. Because I believe you two hold the key to where he can be found. One thing I noticed about this interview is that Mrs. Proudfoot seemed awfully chipper in this interview, was more, bubbly in her recollection of her child and his disposition when he was last in her custody. More interview versus this one. So what was the change about Mrs. Proudfoot? Help the Queen understand how you can go on in this interview about the child's disposition, bubbly and laughing, giggly, versus the News 17 interview. Help me understand. Let's get down to business, everybody. Welcome to the Vault. Continued conversation pertaining to the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. The Proudfoots have spoken to this News WSMV4. Let's hear these lies. Should be good.
So here we are. So it's an entire year after Sebastian's disappearance. There's no really strong lead. There's no sighting yet. So tell me what you're feeling now. Here we are 1 year later. I struggle to put words to how it feels, honestly. The ups and downs, the amount of possible leads that haven't panned out. We every day, it's like waking up to this reality that it's actually real. Sebastian should be home with us. He should be in school. He should be playing. He should be learning. He should be experiencing life. And
I'm going to interject in between, not to break it up, not to disrupt the flow of this bullshit, but he should be. Well, you know what? When he was visible, he wasn't doing anything when he was visible. So coulda, woulda, shoulda, he should be, skydiving and running around and playing in the chess club and being in the glee club and doing all type of various activities, playing the drums, violin. You all see where I'm going with this. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. He wasn't doing those things when you had him in your custody. But now all of a sudden he's missing. He should be doing this, and this. Come on now. Now. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. And you keep pausing and looking up at the sky. And what's the problem? You've had a whole year to get this interview in your head. What you would say to a news reporter about Sebastian. You should already have this memorized. You should have stood in a mirror and looked at yourself and rehearsed what you would say per the questions. Even if she threw a question out that would be what I would say catastrophic. You're supposed to have this rehearsed. Moving along.
We can find him, and until we can bring him home, we're going to keep doing everything we can to make sure that people don't forget about him. We're going to keep making sure that we spread awareness for him, and we're going to keep searching, and we're definitely going to keep praying.
Not. Those eyebrows, look at them.
You've told me you do want to stay positive. I know you both want to stay positive. That's all part of it. So In your mind, do you see Sebastian coming back through your front door? Do you feel he's okay, he's alive, he is out there?
No.
I dream about it every day. I dream that
liar.
One day I'm gonna wake up and this is gonna be a nightmare. But yes, I believe that my son is out there somewhere. I believe that we are going to find him.
And where is he, Katie?
Bring him home, and we're gonna find a way to recover from this. And I'm gonna watch him grow into a young man, and
we're going to recover from this. Oh, but you have recovered. You two have gotten a little chunky. Your chin is about as full as mine because you've been eating good, living good. You're not searching for him. You haven't been searching for him. I doubt you searched one day for your son. I doubt you even passed out a flyer. You don't speak about your son. You don't talk about him. So all this shit you're saying in this interview is bullshit. I said that. And I meant every damn word. Oh, excuse me. Don't use past tense. I mean every damn word.
You know, live the life that he deserves to have.
Hello, Marlena. Hello, Tria, Castle, Sammy Nicole.
Oh, God, I don't even know if I'd be able to speak. I'd probably bulldoze him down with hugs. Honestly, when I picture that, I just picture being able to hug him, to hold him, to smell it. I mean,
He wore diapers. You sure you wanted to smell it? Come on with it, Queen. Bring it to him today. I was going to play nice. I can't. I just want to smell him. Let your husband tell it to a YouTuber. He wore diapers. Well, no disrespect to the child, but we're going to keep it real. I just want to smell him. They're all gonna laugh at you. This is so disrespectful. With them painted on ass eyebrows. Girl, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You and that little fat fucker. You all ought to be ashamed of yourselves, baby. Because I mean, y'all putting it on thick. And I'm not even... just laughing and cackling and what you gonna do when you see him? Well, I think you know where he at. You probably can go visit him right now, can't you, Katie Proudfoot, Christopher Proudfoot? I think you know exactly where Sebastian is. Let's stop this buffoonery, this mockery of an autistic boy child that you. Oh my God, let me play this so I can act a fool later.
Just to be able to hear his voice, to hear his laugh, to see him just be with us and be okay is like I can't wait to see my son. I want to find him so bad.
Pause.
Coming home, right?
Pause. Quiet.
How would you describe what you all have experienced this last year with so many unanswered questions still? It's horrific, to be honest with you.
Blow it out.
I don't know how to describe what it feels like to watch the news, to go hang flyers in every store, every business, every place that you go to, and still find that some people don't even know about it.
When did you do that, Katie?
To hear that.
When was the last time you hung a flyer in a store in Hendersonville, Tennessee, or any surrounding county? When did the last time you passed out a flyer? When was the last time your husband passed out a flyer? When was the last time your family members passed out a flyer? When was the last time Mr. Proudfoot's family passed out a flyer? When was the last time one of your friends, do you have any friends? When did they last pass out a flyer? Checkmate. I ain't heard nothing about you passing out no damn flyer. You can't stay off the ice cream. Green eggs and ham, ice cream, butter pecan, chocolate. What's your choice? You can't get away from the bowl and the spoon. When the fuck did you pass out a flyer? I said that.
There might be a lead, and then just to sit there and have to wait and find out that it's not him yet. And
Lord, somebody give me strength.
I just
Gotta look at him. Bingo card. Thank you. I rest my case. I don't even have to listen any further. Ding, ding, ding. You did it again, Katie. You don't got nothing to say because you know you're lying, and you got to now look at Christopher a year later again because you're drowning in your own lies. Help me, Chris. I don't know what else to say. So now we got to go look back over at Christopher. You did this a year ago. You did this, 7, 8 missing. You're doing the same thing you did a year ago. This shit is golden. This is golden. She was drowning up there. And she has to turn to look at Christopher. Help me, I'm stuck. Pause, pause, pause. Sigh, sigh, sigh. What is one of the signs of lying? Oh, I can tell you about that. Dealing with Mr. Professional. Every time you say something, he knows he's caught. Stop. Laugh out loud. I believe maybe, Katie, maybe you know Mr. Professional.
I mean, there's nothing there's no words, there's no way to put how this actually feels. And anybody that can, I don't see how. I mean, it's day-to-day life changes and you're stuck. It's almost like it feels like it's a Groundhog Day thing, where it's the same thing over and over. You wait, you hope a phone call may come in, you may get something, may get a lead. Turns out to be nothing. That's how it feels.
what is that message? We were talking earlier last week. Tell me what that message is that you want to make sure our viewers hear from you tonight. I want to thank everyone who is searching. I want to thank everyone who is spreading flyers, spreading awareness. I want to ask everyone not to forget.
And almost spreading lies too.
Encourage people to keep helping and to keep bringing awareness, not only to our son, but to all of the missing children, because they all deserve to go home.
That's a lie. You also thank people for spreading lies because it helps with you all. The deflection, keep people from looking at you too. Every child that's missing does not deserve to go home. That's a lie. That's something we say when children go missing. Praying for them to go home. I never pray for a missing child to go home. I don't do that. Let me tell you why. Because I don't know the parents. So what I always say is prayers. But I never pray for a child to go home to their biological parents, step parents, guardian, because I don't know who the fuck they live with. See, I always tell everything, what I always talk about on this network, if you follow me for years, what do I always talk about? Perception and the power of words. So you have to be very careful what you claim. You have to be very careful when you say, I'm praying they are found and they are taken back home. I see it in the comments all the time under these videos of missing children. Praying they go home, praying they go home, praying they go home. You don't even know what they're going back to, which is probably the reason they went missing in the first place. Checkmate. Come on with it, Quay. So I'm not praying for him to go back there. Let me make that clear. So everything she's saying is bullshit. She's drowning up here in this interview. You see, I've got it on pause. Look at the expression. Sigh, 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 sigh. Look up to the sky. What's up there? Because God is looking down saying, don't look at me. I ain't got nothing to do with this. You on your own, sister. So don't look up here at me. So who you looking at? Pause, pause, pause. Side, side, side. Look at Christopher. Oh, I'm drowning. Help me. Checkmate.
I would also like to say that if my son could hear it, that we love him so much and that we are going to keep searching. We are going to keep looking. We are going to find him and we are going to bring him home.
Yeah, not whole. Sorry about that, Seth. Was keeping it real.
Describe your hope right now.
I'm trying to be positive as I can because I know that my son is out there. I struggle to find words to even describe how it feels because it's a living nightmare, to be honest with you. But
Satan's
at the end
spawn.
of the day, it's not about me. It's about the fact that Sebastian is out there and that we are looking for him and we're going to keep looking for him. And we're going to keep praying to God that he is okay. And
Praying to who? God. You two believe in God. Girl, if you don't stop this nonsense. Katie Proudfoot, when was the last time you went to church? When was the last time you stepped foot into a church or a synagogue? I'll wait. Christopher Proudfoot, when was the last time you went to church? When was the last time you two prayed? When was the last time you went to a vigil pertaining to your son? You haven't even done your own prayer vigil for your son. Come on with it, Queen. You pray to God. Girl, it's a wonder that tree didn't catch on fire when she said that. News lady, you good to still have just sat through this nonsense. I pray to God. God said, don't look at me. Don't put my name in this. Lady, you better be very careful the words you choose. It's one thing to lie to the news. It's one thing to lie to your family. It's one thing to lie to the public. It's one thing to lie to law officials. But G.O.D. ain't the one lying to. So I wouldn't put G.O.D. name in no news interview about my child when I know I've done something to my child. My child is not coming back. He's not going to be found whole. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Because it's one thing to knock a kid out. Now you're playing with Jesus. That's a whole different ball game. Lord, somebody, give me strength.
we're gonna bring him home.
This story,
Right, Mandy.
It's baffled
Exactly.
our Hendersonville community. We know it's baffled the mid-state community. It's baffled much of the country as they hear about it. Is there anything that stands out to you that's the most baffling?
Look, he's swaying, rocking,
I'm
robbing.
trying to understand.
How we've gone this long and still haven't found him, honestly, is... I don't understand how we haven't found him yet.
Why is Sebastian still missing?
That's tough to say. I mean, it was the largest manhunt in Tennessee history for a child. And absolutely, there's nothing out there.
You two said it again. There is zero evidence. Thank you for the person that mentioned it during my live. What was that, day before yesterday? You're supposed to say, so far, thus far, law enforcement does not have a trace of my child. Not. Zero evidence. That's not a word you use pertaining to the disappearance of a child. You're supposed to say, so far, there hasn't been a trace. There's not any information. There are no sightings of my child. Not evidence. Evidence, you're alluding to the fact that something has been done. Come on with it, Queen, because I'm woke. I keep trying to tell you the power of words. Because you see, when you are a liar, You have to continue to lie to cover up the last lie. And that is what you see here with these two spawns, Satan's spawns. Yes, I'm saying that. It's the one thing I have been dealing with recently and dealing with a certain person. They have to keep lying because that's all they know to do. They even lie when it's not even necessary. Lie on the most mundane of things because that tells me that's all you've done is lie for no reason. And when you lie for no reason, that means you are ill, you are sick. And naturally, you're going to lie if you've killed a kid. You've got to keep lying, so you got to keep making up stuff like, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Oh, I love my kid. Oh, I miss my kid. Oh, I want to smell my kid. Oh, he was a happy kid. Oh, he was a good kid. But yet you have shown us things that show us you did not think of Sebastian in those positive ways. You are lying here to this lady. You have lied to law officials and the public. You're going to have to keep lying. You are deceptors. You are deceivers. You are evildoers. You are bottom feeders. And how dare you mock this child's name and the name of God as well. You two are nasty.
Law enforcement's working diligently. They're working hard over and over and over. You know, we appreciate everything they do. I mean, it is an active investigation, so I don't want to go into it. But it is mind-blowing at the same time that it's been a year, and the amount of people that still don't know about this, it's unnerving, basically.
I know you both want to try to get the word out as much as possible, and that's what.
It is unnerving. It's not unnerving to you. You're glad that some of us don't know. Some of the people of this great country don't know about Sebastian missing. Yes, I know that people in my area don't know that Sebastian is missing. I've talked to many white people who don't even know his name. They don't know nothing about him. Same thing with Summer Wells. They didn't know she's missing. That's because people don't watch the news. Most people don't have cable, so they don't get the updates. They just get the Amber Alerts on their phone. They may open it, they may not, but they don't go in looking for information. They don't go into the Google search to see the latest Google information. That's just the way it is. And for your sake, you are hoping that. I know you are glad that people don't know about Sebastian. Matter of fact, you're hoping they never hear about his damn name. These people are abhorrent to me. Abhorrent to me. What you say, they look sunburned? Wouldn't go to visuals. Yes, she artist said her tattoo is the #1 pick for people grieving. The heart is broken, and the cross means you'll be reunited in heaven. Well, what's the heart broken? I can't remember when she showed it on the arm. What's the heart broken into? Well, I didn't see that it was a half broken heart. When I think of the hearts, I think of the emoji hearts that you see when you go in the computer or your phone. You know all the little emojis they have with the broken heart. There's a gap in between the heart. I didn't see that type of heart on her wrist. It's all for show. It's a ruse. It's a ruse.
Story. Obviously, that's what we're trying to do.
Let me go back here. Hold
there are
on.
many people who.
It is mind-blowing at the same time that it's been a year, and the amount of people that still don't know about this, it's unnerving, basically.
I know you both want to try to get the word out as much as possible.
What is it that you're missing here? I want somebody to answer for the queen before I finish playing 23 minutes of this bullshit. What's missing in this picture? Please, somebody call it out. When he looked at her, somebody please fill in the blanks. What do you mean, did it look like a rope? What are you talking about? On the heart? Okay, Angela said it doesn't connect. Look at it where it joins. Okay. No, it has a separation as the one side is a cross. See, I didn't see the cross. I'd have to go back and look at it again. Katie looks what? Floored from drinking. What you mean, fluid? Somebody says that's why she's so red. Well, when he said what he said about the case being unnerving and no one knows about the child, he looks to Katie. What is it that he should be doing? I want somebody in the audience to say it. When he looked at her, what should he have done? Come on, you guys. What should he have done when he looked at her? But not the eye contact, something else. You're close.
It's possible, and that's what
It is.
Thank you.
It is
Exactly.
at the same time.
Hold her hand.
It's been a year,
Amen.
and the amount of people that still don't know about this, it's
Just pay attention.
unnerving, basically.
Watch his action.
I know you both want to try to get the word out as much as possible, and that's what the story obviously.
There's no physical contact. When she looked at him earlier, 3 minutes in, 3:08, and she was drowning up here, wanting him to save her because she's tired of lying for 3 minutes, that's when she's supposed to touch. Make up something, Katie. You're good at this. I can't do this. Oh my goodness. Then he's supposed to grab her 3 minutes in. We're only 9 minutes and 26 seconds in. So he looks at her. Pause, pause, pause. You're supposed to touch Katie. Touch her leg, touch her hand, touch her arm, touch her shoulders, stroke her hair. There's no stroking. There's no nothing. You two might as well sit. She sit over here and you sit over there. Hell, let the news lady sit in the middle. Yes, very cold. Exactly.
Obviously, that's what we're trying to do as well. There are many people who still do not know that you all have hired a private investigator. What can you tell me about the video that he recently has discovered and wants to share? I know this has been shared with authorities now.
Yes.
This is involving the neighborhood that you live in. What can you tell me about that video?
It's eye-opening to see that.
I don't know, Angela.
This is something that recently has surfaced, and it's been this long. It's just taken that long to find something. And what the video shows is kind of mind-boggling.
Shoulders forward.
From potentially not having a
Rigid.
sighting
Rigid.
to potentially having a sighting.
Rigid.
And it kind of changes, like, wait a minute, now we may have something to
I agree,
actually
Marlene.
work off of and move forward with and see where this goes. Exercise every avenue till its fullest. It doesn't matter.
No stone unturned. And Katie, you told me earlier you were determined to get to the bottom of this, to get to the bottom of that video.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything that could possibly be something that could lead us to it. We're going to keep looking. We're going to keep digging and keep finding and confirm if it is or isn't, because, I mean, if it's possible, then it's got to be confirmed.
How hopeful are you that this video truly has something that could lead to finding Sebastian?
I pray that if there is anything even remotely in it that could help us find Sebastian, I pray that it is. I don't know how to word it, but it's followed up and found out and confirmed one way or the other, because you know, I mean, I just...
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the video. I know what's in it. It actually gives us more rejuvenated hope that we may actually be onto something. We just have to run it down. We've got to figure this out. And let law enforcement do what they can, and with the help of like TBI, the FBI, all of that. I mean, I believe Secret Service was involved in the beginning. Maybe they can look at this video as well. Let's bring people back to the table, and let's exercise every possibility of enhancing this video, looking at whatever, and tackling.
Christopher, did it not dawn on you that they have already looked at this video in the beginning of the investigation? They have talked to all the neighbors. They've asked all the neighbors for their CCTV footage from their homes, doorbell cameras, anybody that was up eating Doritos, drinking a glass of whiskey. Come on now. And I'm sure they talked to anybody with a pulse within blocks of your. So you want them to come back to the table about a figure moving in between cars, which, as I just said, I would assume they've already talked to people and had this footage already. But no. You all just keep grasping for straws like you really care about this kid. And you just taking advantage of any little thing that a person can make up to help spread more lies about this kid and also about your innocence. That's what you're doing here. False hope. You're spreading false hope. And sadly, there are people out here who are very gullible and green. They're taking in this nonsense. Please don't. Please don't.
What it is to get an answer.
Now, this is your chance to respond, to speak out, to speak your mind, to say, but you know, no matter what the story is, there are always people who will point fingers. What do you want to say to anyone out there who wants to say that one of you could have something to do with Sebastian's disappearance?
I would say to pause and to think, and I would say to consider the sources of information. Try to make sure that you're getting legitimate information. Avoid the rumors.
That's where Queen don't need no help. I don't need any rumors. I've told the chat this yesterday, the day before, since I've been talking about this case, the 1-year anniversary. I don't need rumors. I don't need videos. I don't need rumors. I don't need a neighbor of a neighbor of a neighbor's testimony to a YouTuber. Let me make that clear. I got YouTube. That's what I have. Before anybody came to YouTube, there was you and Mr. Teletubby. No interviews, no gossip, no nothing. I went by what you did and what you did not do and your behavior. And as I said, once the father went to court TV to tell us, oh, we're not talking, I didn't need anything else. I didn't need any stories about a kid in a diaper. I don't need stories about a child being bullied. I don't need to know that the child sat at home all fucking day doing absolutely nothing with his mother. I didn't need to know about Faith. I didn't need to know about Nina. I watched YouTube. That's what I did. I didn't need no gossip. I didn't need no rumors. I didn't need Facebook. I didn't need X. I didn't need none of that. I still don't need it. That's why I don't listen to none of that stuff. I'm watching YouTube. That's what I've done since day one. So when you direct that answer, you're talking to someone else. You're not talking to Queen. Because I don't jump on rumors. I never have. I don't need he said, she said. I don't need private eyes. I don't need some guy in a hoodie trying to get something to fucking eat at the steakhouse. Some woman standing at the curb probably waiting on her ride to pick her up, or maybe wanting to smoke a cigarette or talk on the phone in private. I don't need none of that. I got Katie and Christopher Proudfoot's own actions and words via TV and YouTube, and the fact that they have cut off ties with the biological father, Mr. Seth Rogers. That's what I have.
And I would say that everyone should pause and remember why we all came together in the first place, and that is because Sebastian's missing, and because I'd like to believe that we all want to find him, and no matter what personal opinion is, that the most important thing still remains that Sebastian needs to be found, and Sebastian needs to come home. And I would just say thank you to everyone and anyone that is a part of that.
So let's say Sebastian is listening when this is running, and he hears you, he sees you. What do you want to say to him?
Very positive reporter.
I would say that I love you so very much, and that I hope that you're okay, and I would say that
No affection.
know that we all love you, and that there are so many people that care, and so many people that are looking, and hang in there, and know that we're going to find you, know that we're going to bring you home.
That's okay, still. Just subscribe, sweetheart, to get the notification. Pause. Side.
So at this point, new flyers. I know a lot of places, they take them down after so long. We just keep going back and putting more up. I refer to my original request just to anyone that's willing. Don't let him become forgotten. Don't let him in the next story. Not to.
But you've forgotten about him, have you not? Words are cheap, like this interview. I like the reporter. She's very concerned. Not too dramatic, not too, overly done. Nice looking lady, interviewing two fools. That's who I'd like to talk to, is the reporter. Ma'am, what have you gathered in interviewing these two since last year and this year? How do you feel about these two? Do you believe they're telling the truth, Miss Reporter? That's who I'd like to hear from. But we know she can never give her a public opinion, as not to be biased in her reporting. But I would love to talk to her. Katie Proudfoot, you need to stop this nonsense. Please don't come back on TV. You or Christopher. You have not touched your husband one time during this interview, 26 seconds, 15 minutes. Christopher Proudfoot, you have not touched your wife. You haven't rubbed her shoulder, stroked her hair, hugged her, nothing. You ain't touched her shoulder blade. You ain't touched her thigh, rub her knee. It's okay, baby. It's okay. Damn, if you all going to put on for the camera, touch each other. Hell, are you two even intimate? I hate to break up this little interview. Don't mind, Queen. Are you two intimate? Somebody in the chat wondered if you all are together. Well, we're going to take it a step further. Are you two intimate? Do you even sleep in the same room, same bed? Do you have sex? What are you two doing? We know you're eating, because you ain't missing no meals. Do you two even have sexual relations? I'm not meaning to be disrespectful, but you should be touching each other in this interview. Instead of looking up to the sky and sighing and blowing and rocking, he's lightly swaying and rocking. You two are so predictable. But these are the signs of most people who are guilty. We've seen it in so many interviews. Jacqueline West, she was swaying side to side. Oh, the children should be around here somewhere. Oh, yeah. They were somewhere, but not around there. Maybe somewhere buried. But they weren't in nobody's house. Oh, I think there is somebody's house around here. Well, why would they be in somebody's house? So you all are going to go back and listen to this video, and you're going to say, damn, Katie, I should have touched your shoulder. I should have touched your kneecap. I should have touched your hand. I should have wiped away your tears. These are two cold vessels. This is why I said the universe brought two cold motherfuckers together, just like the whales. Brought those two cold SOBs together. It's the same game. These two are evenly yoked. That's why nobody should be shocked that Sebastian is missing.
Supersede other children because they all deserve just as much, if not more, attention, because all children do. But I would say just don't let him
from lying. That's why she's breathless.
Forgotten and lost, because we're never gonna stop. We're never gonna let that happen if we can help it.
With his autism, is there anything else that we should add that you want the public to know?
I would say that he is high, what they would consider high functioning. He's not, he doesn't struggle with verbal communication, but he does, he does struggle sometimes with expressing himself, is, I guess, the best. But he's so smart, and he's so capable, and that I think...
Well, Katie, is that why we're here? Your child was trying to express himself February 25th. Things got out of control. Somebody got hit, pushed, shoved, choked, suffocated. Help me out. Or was this a planned event to get rid of a child because you all had trouble in paradise? Which is it? Because I don't think it can be with one or the other. I don't think the child ran away. Nobody broke in and stole him. So we can alleviate those two options. So either you and the child had words, something popped off, or you planned it and got rid of him. He's so smart, highly functioning. But he can't express himself. I'm very glad you told us that, because that might be, as I said, the catalyst to why we're here. Because we don't really know what happened in that house. We don't even know the date that he got gone. We don't know that he made it home from the steakhouse. But the fact that you said he can't explain himself, so that's possibly why he didn't go on and on to his father's Seth about what the fuck you two were doing to him in that house. But he's a child, probably scared. And then if he can't really explain himself, that's the reason why he never told his father. Couldn't word it properly. But then the flip side is that he allegedly told the mother, Seth's mother, something. So, what's the truth? You're entitled to your opinion. But I know he's not here. And I don't think he's going to be coming back whole or walking. And Mr. and Mrs. Proudfoot, you know this. So this $2 interview you gave News 4 is despicable. But that's expected, because this is what's expected to come forward a year later and play the part. But what you two forgot to do during this interview is show affection towards one another, since you two are allegedly grieving. You're not grieving. You're playing the role. Sadly, News 4 didn't pay you for your interview. Checkmate.
Look, the initial image of him that was portrayed was misleading to an extent. And I think that in the chaos of trying to get the initial information about him out, that various things got taken and misconstrued. So I would just tell everyone that he's smart, he's capable, he's funny, he's able to speak to you and to recognize things. You know, he's a teenager.
Steal your food. Girl, not shaking like a leaf. It's stupid.
Again, honestly, he just had a birthday, and I'm sure that his mustache is coming in more. I mean, he really is a good kid.
Right.
What do you miss most about yourself?
All the world's a stage.
I miss his smile. I miss his laugh. I miss going and doing fun things with him. I miss taking him to get a haircut and him saying, "Mom, feel my head." I miss cooking dinner with him. I miss game nights. Play Uno until the sun came up if you let him. You know, he goes through phases of...
You miss cooking for him? Well, your grocery bill should be a little lighter. Let y'all tell him he ate a lot of food. Ate a lot of food. Autism. If we are to believe you actually fed him. Once again, as I said, everything's about interpretation. I want to hear from the doctor. I want to hear the doctor's last report of Sebastian Rogers. How the boy sounded, how he looked, his weight, bone mass. That's what I want to hear. So will the real MD step up? Tell us, which we know you can't. I'd like to hear about the child's medical records. That's what I want to hear. This is nonsense here. Smiling, gaping, rock and half cry. This year we're bubbly and, oh, he's smart. Mommy, feel my hair. Girl, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Of which games he's into, but, you know, I miss him. I miss everything about him. The good, the bad. I miss his attitude.
Table for two. Exactly. Less food to buy.
Eat all the sweets instead of dinner. I miss him stealing my Brussels sprouts while I'm trying to cook them.
So he had a heavy appetite.
I sense lots of joy that's being missed right now.
His jokes, the way he laughs when he tells a funny. He had, there's a video that I put out that he was being goofy, and he had this like half gallon of green tea that he had gotten from the grocery store, and he thought of this joke, and he ran in the kitchen and he grabbed a green cup and he was like, "Mom, green tea." And, it was just so funny, and I was just like, "Dude, hold on, you gotta do that again." And I grabbed my phone and I was like, "You gotta do it again." And he was like, "Green tea." And he was just like, it's not in the video, but he was just rolling because he just thought it was the funniest thing ever. And
that was a ruse.
Oh God, he was getting to where he had some good ones.
Feels like a great sense of humor.
He was definitely developing. He was coming into his sarcasm. You know, like one of the other videos I released, when it's hard to hear, but we were bowling, and because he has a lot of fun with it. He actually was getting a lot better without bumpers, but he like rolled a good roll, and he turns around and he's like, "You got wrecked, Mom." And I was just like, what is happening right now?
Oh, still waters.
But I mean, I miss that, you know. I miss being able to hang out with him, you know, because he's...
Well, Katie, where's your other fingernail? Did your nail pop off?
You know, which we had a lot of fun when he was little, but when they get older, you know, you start being able to do different things with them. And you know, game nights are, God, they're a blast sometimes.
We didn't have pool days this year.
Pool days? That's big in the summer. He loves to go to the pool.
Oh, you took him to the swimming pool?
Swimming.
We didn't know that. Interesting.
He's, I don't know if I put that picture out or not, but there's one that I took of him. He has on this like giant, I think it was a flamingo, and he was just like, just being a cool guy.
Being a fun kid.
For our viewers, before we end this, I guess your message for them is just keep hope alive.
Remember him.
Keep looking.
Share his face, because talking about him is what we want to do, but we want to make sure that people know his face. We want to know that people know who they're looking for, and we would just ask that everyone just kind of be aware of your surroundings in general. You never know. And
Elizabeth,
all it takes is just one person.
you all are
to
horrible.
make a difference. And
Katie, your nose is
I
growing.
would say, if anything, constantly being vigilant, just looking out there, aware of what your surroundings are. Please, if you see something, call 911.
Lie bumps, pale
Call
rider.
TBI.
Oh, I didn't even notice his top lips. Glossy.
we would
We
encourage
just
Looked like he had Vaseline on his lips.
Just a single point of right back to law enforcement. That's where it needs to go. Anybody who sees
Wait a minute. Let me zoom into that. You know, I didn't say anything at the beginning of the live, but I did notice his lips looked like he had on like a lot of chapstick or Vaseline. Christopher, what's wrong with your mouth? Uh-oh. Have you been kissing the wrong girl? Shut up, Angela. So what'd you say, Lord? Someone said KP had a sore on her lip too. I didn't pay attention. Yeah, I'm just now seeing this because I didn't blow up the video. But I noticed it before, the gloss on his lips, but I didn't say anything. He's got on some type of ointment. If you go in close. Christopher, what's wrong with your mouth, honey? Is it because you're out in the elements? You got real cold sores from the cold wind down there in Memphis? Kind of warm down in Memphis because Memphis is warmer than where I live. And it's been warm here the past week. Come on with it, Queen. So what you been doing down there in Memphis? Don't tell me you've been kissing the wrong kitty cat. Lord, Katie would die if she found out you done went and kissed the wrong girl or wrong guy. God forbid. And all them black folks down there in Memphis, don't do it, Queen. We'll have to talk about that another day. You ain't been messing around with some worldly women, have you, Mr. Christopher? Now, Angela. Play nice. I won't. I believe y'all been doing something with other people. That's what I think.
just report it, please.
Do you feel that there's someone out there right now that knows something? They're just not saying it?
It's hard to say until we can run down this video
Y'all are evil.
and figure out what we're seeing.
Y'all so damn evil.
I don't want to speculate. I don't want to, because it's an active investigation. I don't want to add any more
rumor.
chaos that's already out there. We just want to keep this to the core, Sebastian.
Keeping hope alive.
Yes.
The
Keeping
search
hope
goes
alive.
on. We are hopeful and we are praying for you.
Thank you.
We appreciate your time. Thank you for talking with me.
Thank you.
These two viewers.
My message would be, first and foremost, thank you. Thank you for helping spread his flyer, his story.
Still, please. Okay. Weigh in. Weigh in, everybody. What do you think? And then they showed their hands again. So you all wait to hold hands at the end of an interview about a missing kid for 20-something minutes. But you didn't think to hold hands before. Help me understand, because I'm utterly confused. Help me understand. Let's go to YouTube, everybody. Take the poll on my community page pertaining to this interview. You have 4 options under that post. How do you think the interview went with the Proudfoots at News 4? Take the poll, everybody. We're going to go over there and we're going to see how you all weighed the commentary with these votes, okay? I don't know why I cannot get out my menu for some reason. Hold on. I'm trying to get over here. Hold on. Take the poll, everybody. I'm about to go to my channel right now, and I'm going to read your results pertaining to this interview. Welcome to the Vault Excel. Your thoughts on your interview with the Proudfoots. This is how you weighed. Only 16 people voted. Bullshit, 69%. Believable, 19%. Not sure, 13%. Could care less, 0%. One person commented. Laura says another fluff piece, naturally. Was it fluff, everybody? Weigh in. Was it fluff? Was it fluff? The search for Gary Jones is still ongoing down in Georgia at Lake Oconee. For those of you who are still following that story, I'm going to bring you a news update pertaining to 2 brothers out of New Jersey from Princeton. One has been accused of murdering the other brother. We're going to chop that story up later on this evening. What happened? Mental illness, a sibling rivalry, or a little bit of both? We're going to talk about it. Queen moved the plant in the kitchen. I decided to take it out the bathroom. Don't ask. OCD, everybody. OCD. Pray for me. Let's recap this News 4 interview. This is my post 2 hours ago. I said, now Katie looks a reporter in the eyes. Chris says there's no evidence. You mean there is no trace thus far of Sebastian? Words. See you soon. Thank you all so much for joining this live stream. Let's recap this interview, everybody. What a hot mess. Words are powerful.
Hi, I'm Regional Commercial.
Sorry about that. They show so many commercials. Good God Almighty.
That's baffled people all over the mid-state and across the country.
Yeah, 1 year ago today, Sebastian Rogers vanished from his Hendersonville home without a trace. Hundreds of tips.
John and Chucky have officiated over 3,400 games.
Why are they showing? I got too many. Hold on, you guys. I don't know why this thing's got all these news stories are running over each other. Hold on. Let me go back up here. Something is not right. 2 videos are playing at the same time. Let's try it again. Take the polls, everybody. And take the poll from the other day pertaining to the other interview with Fox 17 with Katie Proudfoot minus Mr. Proudfoot. Maybe he was at work when she talked to the news, don't know. But this time, News 4, both of them spoke in the interview together.
Yeah, 1 year ago today, Sebastian Rogers vanished from his Hendersonville
Kevin
home
Walden,
without a
WTY.
trace. Hundreds of tips have poured in, but still no Sebastian.
Sebastian's mother and stepdad sat down with our Holly Thompson, who joins us now with how they're handling everything 1 year later. Tonight, in my one-on-one with Katie and Chris Proudfoot, you'll hear
What is
about
going
the
on?
enduring hope this family is clinging to, and their message to you as they vow.
I don't know why this other news is still playing.
Their son.
It's
a living nightmare,
Hold
to
on.
be honest with you.
Dozens of people were celebrating Black history within the Ridgeway community.
What is going on? Hold on, you guys.
President, a happy birthday.
I'm going to have to go back out of this because I've got another story still playing while this one's on. I don't know what's going on. I obviously didn't log out of everything. I don't know what's going on. This is strange. Hold on. Well, something ain't right. Hold on, everybody. I don't know what's going on. Wow, I've got two stories playing at one time. With lawyers sitting there, even had questions approved, unbelievable. Who told you there was a lawyer there? Where'd you hear that? Where'd you hear that, honey? I'm trying to figure out why I've got two stories playing at the same time. This is what's strange to me. Hold on. This is weird. Let me try this one. He was in the upper left corner. Or I didn't see him.
And across the country.
Yeah, 1 year ago today, Sebastian Rogers vanished from his Hendersonville home without a trace.
I gotta get out of this. I don't know how to get out of this thing.
Time it is, right? It is time for the good side, and today it is Valentine's Day. I hope you like my Valentine's outfit.
No, I don't like your Valentine's. I'm trying to get out this damn menu. I'm having problems, you guys. I don't know what's going on. Well, I'm doubling up my...
Having gliding through life together for...
My content is something strange. I don't know what's going on.
Videos on social media of an adorable...
Why are two stories playing at one time for some weird reason? This is crazy. I don't know what's going on. It's like it's locked or something. I need to get out of here, is what I need to get out of. Hold on. Maybe that's what's going on. I got too many things going on. That's what it is. Hold on. Let me make sure this story is stopped playing.
Teenagers on the ice to be able to hear seriously stylish matching outfits. The teen with autism disappeared.
That's what it is. It's still playing in here.
Overnight hours of February 26th.
For some weird reason.
Now, 58 years later, with their matching.
Hold on, everybody.
Steve Fisher, a private investigator hired by
It won't jump. It won't stop for some reason.
This video that first aired on WSMV4 could be a new lead in the ongoing search for Sebastian. Video from the night Sebastian through life side by side, on and off the very same lake.
12 different stories playing at once.
Here every week, back where it all began.
This person, and there's a person at 12:17 a.m. in the same neighborhood that Sebastian's from. And walks southbound.
Tally, what was your first impression of Jerry?
Goes behind a vehicle. It appears that they're trying to stay out of sight of another person that's walking their dog, and then doubles back after it's clear.
Fisher says he's working to...
There we go. Tabs were open. Sorry about that. knows I had these tabs were open and they had the volume still playing. Okay, so we're gonna go. We're gonna do their recap. You all tell me your feelings about the Menendez brothers. Do you think they should be freed? Because they still keep talking about them as of late. The Menendez brothers. Sorry about that. Had too many tabs open. All right, let's see if anybody else voted. 4 more people voted. 75% BS, 15% believable, 10% not sure. Pertaining to this last interview, we're going to recap what was said.
Protection can...
Hot butter mess. I must say she was more giddy in this interview. This woman is really crazy. Or she's trying to make herself seem crazy.
All over the mid-state and across the country.
Yeah, 1 year ago today, Sebastian Rogers vanished from his Hendersonville home without a trace. Hundreds of tips. Still no Sebastian.
Sebastian's mother and stepdad sat down with our Holly Thompson, who joins us now with how they're handling everything 1 year later. Tonight, in my one-on-one with Katie and Chris Proudfoot, you'll hear about the unwavering hope this family is clinging to and their message to you as they vow they will never give up in the search for their son.
It's a living nightmare, to be honest with you.
The teen with autism disappeared from his mom and stepdad's Hendersonville home in the overnight hours of February 26th.
When he walked in that door, oh God, I don't even know if I'd be able to speak. I'd probably bulldoze him down with hugs. Honestly, when I picture that, I just picture being able to hug him, to hold him, to smell it. I mean, I just to be able to hear his voice, to hear his laugh.
The teen with autism disappeared from his mom and stepdad's Hendersonville home in the overnight hours of February 26th.
We do believe there's a chance it is Sebastian. We're just trying to find out if that could be the case.
Steve Fisher, a private investigator hired by Katie and Chris Proudfoot, says this video that first aired on WSMV4 could be a new lead in the ongoing search for Sebastian. Video from the night Sebastian disappeared.
We went through over 100 hours of
exactly, Lori.
It wasn't until the third pass through the surveillance that we even spotted this person, and there's a person at 12:17 a.m. in the same neighborhood that Sebastian's from that walks southbound in the neighborhood, goes behind a vehicle. It appears that they're trying to stay out of sight of another person that's walking their dog, and then doubles back after it's clear.
Fisher says he's working to learn if that person wearing dark clothing in the video is accounted for in the investigation.
It actually
Is that a what?
Rejuvenated hope.
Huge head but no brain.
We
God,
might actually be onto something. We just have to run it down.
Over the last 12 months, emergency responders and volunteers spent hundreds of hours searching for the missing teen. Drone mapping, ground searches, scent dogs, and the scouring of surveillance video. Why do you think Sebastian is still missing?
That's tough to say. I mean, it was the largest manhunt in Tennessee history for a child. And absolutely zero evidence. There's nothing out there. Law enforcement's working due diligently. They are working hard over and over and over.
What do you want to say to anyone out there who wants to say that one of you could have something to do with Sebastian's disappearance?
I would say to pause and to think, and I would say to consider the sources of information. Try to make sure that you're getting legitimate information. Avoid the rumors.
Katie and Chris say they're determined to bring their son home and want the community to stay focused.
I want to ask everyone not to forget, and I want to encourage people to keep helping and to keep bringing awareness not only to our son but to all of the missing children, because they all deserve to go home.
And if Sebastian's out there listening, I asked Katie what she'd want to say to it.
I would say that know that we all love you,
Chuck Lee,
and
calm down.
that there are so many people that care and so many people that are looking, and hang in there. Know that we're going to find you. Know that we're going to bring you home.
Investigating agencies say Sebastian's mom, stepdad, and biological father have fully cooperated, and there's no evidence to support foul play. Now, we also contacted law enforcement about the video in our story. The Sumner County Sheriff's Office told us that law enforcement had possession of the original video that the private investigators knew since 72 hours after Sebastian was reported missing.
So that means they already know about it.
Investigating this lead, they determined it has no relevance to the case. Now, you can watch my full interview with Katie and Chris Proudfoot on our WSMV4 app. Holly Thompson, WSMV4. The Amber Alert for Sebastian Rogers is still active, and the Sumner County Sheriff's Office says they're still looking for him. The sheriff posted on Facebook that his team is still following every lead and analyzing all evidence. The sheriff's office says there have been no confirmed sightings. Haven't stopped trying to find him. They ask anyone with information to call TBI tip line.
All right. TBI, 1-800-TBI-FIND if you have any information pertaining to the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers or any missing child or any case of an adult. TBI is involved, or if you just have any information. That's a picture of these two. My synopsis. Well, everybody, my feeling has not changed about the Proudfoots. Okay? It will never change. And frankly, I have said this before, and I stand on it to this day. If Sebastian was to resurface, I would still feel the same about the Proudfoots, only because of the obvious. They have no respect for him. They have shown no respect for him. So to me, whether the child is alive or dead, my feelings for them is the same, you see, because I judge people accordingly to how they behave, how they act, how they talk. And when you have a situation this dire of a missing person, child, gossiping about them to YouTube is not the solution, and it's not appropriate etiquette. And if you don't know that, that means you had no business with the kid. Ding, 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 times 2 adults. So that goes to show me the obvious. This is how you thought of him when he was visible, whether he's dead or alive. That's not rumor. That's not rhetoric. That's your behavior. It has nothing to do with a rumor. I'm judging you according to your own actions and your own words. You came to YouTube talking bad about a kid. He is still missing now, a year later. So whether he's alive or dead, you have no respect for him. So if you don't have respect for him and he's missing, you didn't have respect for him when he was visible. Checkmate. Evidence. The police don't have any evidence. You don't know what they have, Mr. Proudfoot, because they're not going to tell you the truth. As I said before, you're supposed to say they don't have a trace of him. There's no trace of him. Not evidence. Because you don't know what TBI has. And you're the last persons, you and Katie, that they're going to tell what they have. And Mr. Craddock said 2 months ago, he does have something, but he don't want to prejudice the case, so he's not going to reveal it to the public. Now, in his last interview with the news, he's basically saying it's an investigation, it's not criminal. But he don't have to tell us the truth about that either. This is just ridiculous. You all have no respect for this kid. So this is why people think you know more about where he can be found, whether he's alive or deceased, you know something. And the fact that you're more giddy in this interview, you're spinning stories about how he was, what he liked to do. Oh, I would, basically you'd say you bulldoze him if he came through the door. I believe that this is all an act. You are saying what is expected of you. People expect you to talk positive about the child, that you like the child, you love the child. Somebody said they didn't hear you say, I love you. Hey, I hope you're well. I hope he's safe. I hope he's warm. I hope whoever has you, they're taking good care of you, because you have to use common sense when you say, come back home. I hope you come back home. You got to use, where is he? Who has him? Why do they have him? Why haven't they released him? They know he's missing. Well, then why don't you release him? So after Amber Alert, you would go to prison for having the child. How are you going to explain having the child? One, he don't belong to you. Two, there's an active Amber Alert. You'd have to explain it to law officials. So you don't hear none of that in the commentary from her first interview. This one. Hope you're warm. Hope you're safe. Great point made in the chat. We love you. Miss you. God, I wish I knew where you were. And also, as I just said, there's no pleading with the persons who has him if you think he's with someone. Bingo card. Please let him go. We miss him. We need him here. He needs his family. I know maybe you thought you were doing the right thing, and that would be contradictory too, because then people think, well, why would somebody take him? See, this is why I said you have to be very, very careful the words you choose. But see, there's no pleading with an abductor. Or he ran away and somebody took him in, felt sorry for him. Okay, why aren't you pleading to this imaginary person? Please bring my child back. Please turn him over to the authorities. We need him. So this is why we said last year when she went down to the RV park, your child could have actually been alive, wandering around if you didn't murder him. How is he going to return him to a house where the mother's gone? Coming back. You knew he wasn't coming back. Isn't that right, Katie Proudfoot, Mr. Proudfoot? You two are thick as thieves. You are too wrapped up into this saga that's playing out on the news and social media. You know exactly what you're doing. You both are deviant and diabolical. So that means possibly we're talking about two psychopaths. I'm not a psychiatrist, but I'm going to go out on a whim and say two psychopaths. You're either one or the other, sociopath or psychopath. Take your pick. But both of you are evenly yoked. And as I tell people, the reasoning for getting rid of Sebastian really don't matter because it's illogical. You don't knock off a kid chewing too loud, or he ate the last Oreo cookie, or he won't go to sleep, he talks too much. Whatever your stupid ass reasons were, the point is he's a child of God first. He's not your child. He's God's child. And I do believe you stole God's child. And the fact that you use God in this commentary, that you're praying to God, we already know that you don't pray to God. I don't even believe you pray, let alone to God. And I don't believe you two have ever been to church. If you've been to church, it's so long ago, the church probably ain't even still standing. It's probably a mall in its place. Shut your mouth, Queen. Yeah, I'm keeping it real. You two are not Christians. You two are not Christians. You don't care anything about being a Christian. You don't care about leading anybody to the water. What you've been doing is misleading people into the abyss, because that's where you two have been with Sebastian. So you knock this kid off, but you're still in the abyss and you don't even realize it. So you think you come to the news and save face? I read right through you. I know you're doing what's expected. Well, let's go to the news. Let's pretend we care. Let's make the people think we're searching. We're passing out flyers. Oh, there's people that don't know about the story. Oh, Christopher says it's unnerving. Whoa, what a big word. It's unnerving. These people don't know that this child's missing. What's unnerving is looking at you two lie in front of the news. That's what's unnerving. Continuing to lie like we're dodo birds out here. Acting like you care for this kid when you never cared. You got 5 marriages under your belt, sir. You're the last person I want to hear from. You can't talk to me about nothing. Relationships, mentoring children, being a parent. What can you tell us? And Katie Proudfoot with those dark ass, deep ass, drawn on eyebrows, you can't tell me nothing either. What happened to your finger? Did a fingernail pop off when you forgot to paint your fingernails? What happened? You know you're gonna be talking to the news, Katie. Why you didn't get your nails done? I don't know, maybe you and Christopher were fighting. If you have fake nails, your nail popped off. Who's to say? The one thing we've learned, you two have been eating well. You want to get the full interview, News 4 WSMV has the full interview. Feel free to just Google it on your phone or device and pull up the entire interview. So far, I didn't see it in the YouTube queue, the full interview. Don't know if News 4 is going to put the whole interview up. Probably not, because they didn't do it last year for the other interview they did. So this is basically a recap. There's no affection either between the two. Why not? You two are living together, you're married, but yet there's no affection during this interview. There's no touching one another. There's no holding hands. There's no touching a kneecap.
I don't know if I'd be able to
There's no nothing. There's no nothing. There's no nothing. Giddy, laughing. What's so funny? But I get it. You want to make it seem like he's a great kid. He's a great kid. He's smart. He's got one-liners. He's got jokes. But what's interesting is you weren't this giddy in the other interview. Why not? Same kid. Same Katie, same Chris, same kid. What's the difference? Then we have this Mr. Fisher. He's the mouthpiece for this bullshit. Mr. Fisher, you ought to be ashamed of yourself, because if you're a private investigator, you ought to have enough common sense to know when you're being hoodwinked and bamboozled. And you also were involved in that bullshit of that girl who went on the run pretending she was kidnapped and missing. So I don't really trust you either, because to me, you don't have a discerning spirit, which means you don't need to be a private investigator. It's a living nightmare, is it? It's a living nightmare? You two seem to be living just fine to me. What's a nightmare is all the gossip, I'm sure. People gossiping about you, pointing the fingers at you two as a baby killer. Well, that's life. Life's a bitch. This video. Police already had the video. And most of us don't really give a fuck if they got it day 1, day 2, day 3, 1 week. The point is, police got it before you all did this interview. That's the point. So that should tell anybody breathing that they have edited the video and anybody they think could be in the video, and it's not relevant, allegedly. Now, if we find out later down the road there's some relevance, I'm sure law officials will tell us. But so far, they're saying to us, it's nothing. So they don't have a suspect. They're not ruling out foul play. So far, there's no evidence to foul play. They're all over the place. So what do we believe about this video, steakhouse video, no CCTV footage of the child or the mother going in the house, coming out, going to garbage cans? See, you don't have anything. But the gist of the story is, as I've told you, when they bring forward an indictment, that is when you will see everything. As we've seen in most of the cases that I've brought you pertaining to Megan Boswell, Evelyn Boswell, Cal City Boys, Harmony Montgomery, Camille McKinney, Quentin Simon, there was evidence. And they didn't have to tell us they had evidence. In the suspect's house, CCTV footage of them dumping a body, landfill searches, so on and so forth. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say I think they have something against these two participants. They're just not telling us, because they don't want these two doing anything. But as I said, hell, if you did implicate the Proudfoots, what's the worst they can do? What? Kill another kid? Just say. Kill the other one? Possibly. I'm not going to let them rat me out. So I'll take the life of my wife, my husband. Are these two guilty? Are these two guilty in harming Sebastian Rogers? And if they harmed the boy, what was the motive? And where did they dispose of his body? Where's this child? I found it interesting when he said massive search of a kid in Tennessee, the biggest one ever done. Well, that's their job, is to look for a kid, Mr. Proudfoot. Are you offended that they did a search of the child for the child? You two are the ones that reported him missing. What did you want them to do? Just take notes and then go back to doing whatever they were doing? Oh, it's the biggest search ever done for a kid in the state of Tennessee. I don't know if you were proud or you weren't proud. Enlighten me. Katie Proudfoot gasping for air during this interview once again. Sign looking to him to help her. She was drowning in this interview, looking up to the sky, giddy sometimes, laughing sometimes. Just a lot going on with two buffoons who are obviously, in my opinion, lying. And for a minute, I sat here listening to her giddy and laughing. I said, Queen, could you have this wrong? Could it be they have nothing to do with this crime? If it's a crime? Could it be the child's just somewhere out here living with somebody? My mind said, I still think they're guilty. As I said, if the child is alive, they're still not, in my opinion, good parents. So it's still bad either way. And if they're bad parents and the child's alive, I wouldn't want Sebastian going back to her and him. So you're still back to square one. Who's going to get the kids? So that leaves Seth. But then she'd have to save face and try to fight for the child knowing she didn't really want him. So this is why I always tell people to weigh the options if the child's alive. It would still be a battle between them, I won't doubt, because then she's worried about what people are going to think of her. And she'll probably go to court anyway, trying to act like she cares for him to get custody of him, knowing she and Christopher don't want the boy. See, everything's about perception, aesthetics, how it looks, how we're perceived. I think they will fight for him. Chris will probably say, I don't want to. It has been peaceful without him around. See, those are the things you're not going to hear. Hey, hey, it's peaceful, it's quiet, we can go where we want, do what we want. We ain't got to contend with a kid that can't talk, combative, fighting, fussing, kicking, stomping. It's peaceful here. That's what you're not hearing in these interviews. What you're not seeing are the real emotions of Christopher and Katie Proudfoot, which is, we are glad to be free of this kid. He was a burden. And frankly, you all are burdening us with these accusations and talking about us in your videos and so on and so forth. Just leave us alone. Sorry. Can't do that. Can't leave you alone. As I said in my commentary before pertaining to the Proudfoots, let's do an even swap. Produce. We'll leave you alone. Checkmate. Just like the Faith / Sebastian swap. Nina takes her child to Tennessee or send her child back down here if Sebastian pops up. I still don't think they should have access to the child. Period. Let me refrain from what I said before. Nah, no even swap there. But you get what I'm saying. Even swap ain't no swindle. So let's swap it out this way. You all produce Sebastian, and we'll go away and stop talking about you. How about that? She left food and blanket outside for him. Outside for him where? Why would she have left the food and blanket outside for him? What do you mean? That will be my oath. You two produce Sebastian. I won't say nothing else about you two. I don't even know if I can keep my own damn word. But I'm going to go on and say it now. Produce him. You two produce him. Not Bubba, not Sugar Mama, not nobody from down the street, not nobody from North Carolina. Not nobody from Louisiana, California, New York. You two. You two only. You two produce Sebastian Rogers. I'll stop talking about you. Just produce the kid. You can't do that because he's not producible. And I'm sure this is hard for Seth to come to grips with, listening to this, content from videos. He wants to have hope that his child's alive. I believe this weekend he's going to have a prayer vigil for his son, March 1st. It's a terrible place to be. Wanting your kid back, wanting your kid alive, thinking about all the things you did, said, didn't do, wish you had done, and you can't go back. And see, that's the thing about life. That's why I was trying to tell young people, you need to tread lightly in your lifestyle and your choices because you can't go back. And there's certain things you can get yourself wrapped into can cause you a world of harm, lifetime of harm, even your freedom. So you need to think about all your decision making carefully, the company you keep, the people you hang around, the things you do. Getting involved with drugs, alcohol, illegal activity, you need to think. The people you take up with, such as liking people, marrying people, better hope you know who the fuck you're laying down with. Or you can become a news story. I think most of you understand that. I'm sure somewhere in the world, these people never thought they would become a news story. And I'm sure a lot of people think that, especially when they're incarcerated. How did I get here? What did I do to deserve this? Well, you got to check yourself. He said we left the door open. Well, it's key coded, and they said he knows the code. Okay. I'm trying to understand what you're saying. Why would he have been left outside? I don't understand what you're saying. Left a blanket and some food on the porch, and someone pointed out the only reason to do that is because they changed the damn code on the door. Okay. Take the poll, everybody. How do you feel about this news interview? Interview number 2. Do you believe Sebastian Rogers is alive or deceased? What evidence does TBI Sumner County Sheriff Department have? Do they have a suspect in mind, but they're not telling the public? Do they have anything that can incriminate either Mr. or Mrs. Proudfoot, Seth, or anybody else? Do they believe the child is alive or deceased? That's a damn good question. Where do they see this investigation going? And what is the information that Mr. Craddock has that he won't release to the public as not to prejudice the case? So prejudice the case in what way? Prejudice the case against Sebastian, prejudice the case against Seth, prejudice the case against the Proudfoots, or one or the other? Or any other entity related to these people? Please give us a hint. I am curious. The first interview was bogus. And this one is just as bogus to me. I think they did the interview as a ruse. It's what was expected of them to do since it's 1 year the child went missing yesterday. And if it wasn't for just, hype and people saying ugly things about them, being accusatory, they would have never done the interview because they haven't done one in some time. So that shows me they don't care about the kid. So I don't care about when the last time they passed out a flyer. That means nothing to me because it just doesn't mean anything to me. As I said, words are cheap. Your actions mean more than your words. A person can say anything. Oh, I believe I can fly. Well, let me see. Flap your wings and start flying. Exactly. Because you can't. The same game with this. He's this, he's that, he's smart, he's funny, he can tell jokes, he tells one-liners, blah, 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 blah. Y'all over the place. Happy, sad, grieving, rocking, swaying. No affection during this interview from either party to the other one, which is very weird to me, that you're sitting here crying about a kid, but there's nobody touching anyone to comfort them. And you don't hear that from them either. I hope somebody's comforting my kid. I hope somebody's understanding his disposition, his attitude, how he behaves. I hope they're not harming him. I hope they're not hurting him. You don't hear any of that. No appeal to appease to the imaginary person that could possibly have him. And that's the first thing you're supposed to do when a person goes missing. You're supposed to appease to the alleged abductor, kidnapper, or anybody that took them in. Please let him, her go. They're a good person. And I know you're a good person. Please let him or her go. We need them. We miss them. You haven't heard any of that in any conversations by the Proudfoots, to my knowledge. And you don't hear it in these two interviews. Please let him go. Oh, I hope you're taking good care of my child. These are the things that he likes to do. These are his hobbies. He likes books. He likes to Twitch. He likes this. I don't hear any of that. That's who you're supposed to be talking to if you believe he's alive and he's in the care of somebody. You're supposed to be helping this person change their mind about keeping him. Checkmate. You said nothing. Yes, I believe they are lying. The past says if you see something, call 911. Oh, you know that number now. Very funny. What about the birthday? I heard somebody else say something about that. She couldn't remember the birthday? Is that during the first interview? Oh my God, Pat, please. Their bodies look the same. Just switch heads. Damn, that's a good one. Oh my goodness. And you can tell she's uncomfortable when they show her in the other angle. She looks uncomfortable where she's facing the camera. When they take the camera and pan it on her directly, shoulder to shoulder, you can see she's like rigid. God, I want this interview over with. Please stop talking to me. Stop asking me questions. God, you all are sick. Tweedledee and Tweedledum. She's nearly sunken in chest. Yes, I agree. You said the interview with just her, she says her birthday is December 7th. His birthday, then she does that weird breathing and then says it's 16. Right. Let's go back. Hold on. Let's compare the two. Also, Gene Hackman and his wife have been found dead. I believe also the dog. Was it monoxide poisoning, suicide, homicide? What happened? Right here, my latest update. Gene Hackman, 95 years of age. He's 30 plus years older than his wife. What happened to these two people? I'm going to check that out too. So I'll come back later. We'll just do an all-around live stream on breaking news. 33 people voted. 76% of you said bullshit interview. 9% believable. 15% not sure. Still nobody said they could care less. Wow. Gary Jones still missing. This dog video I found today is so funny. This dog didn't want to go home. It's a girl dog. And I mean, she literally was playing dead and the owner could not get her to get up. So funny. That's the queen. I was out last night on the town celebrating life and celebrating my mama's heavenly birthday. I said, Mama, I'm going to go out just for you. Did my hair blonde because Mama used to love wearing her hair blonde. I said, I'm going to get out and paint the town. Somebody pissed me off while I was out last night. As always, some guy got to talking crazy. I mean, he was just nasty. And I was just like, man. I tried to control myself, but at one point I did pop off because I was just like, dude, you don't know me from a can of paint. You better back up. Get your ass something to do. Hey, these 3 young women, Americans, found dead in a hotel in Belize. Bad drugs, bad water. That's my mama when she was young. Rest in heaven, dear. Happy birthday, sugar. All right, everybody. New evidence for Kohlberger. What is it? I'm scared to even open the video. We're going to open that before I leave. Let's look at this fool. Fox 17 is the source, everybody, if you're curious to the information.
Do you have an EBT card?
So many news stories, I can't keep up. It's not enough hours in the day to talk about all this stuff.
The last time I saw my son was when he went to bed.
Tonight marks 1 year since
Thank you.
disappeared from his home near Beach High School in Sumner County. He's 16 now, but there are still no confirmed sightings or leads in the case.
Fox 17 News' Kelly Avellino sat down with Roger's mother, Katie Proudfoot, in the search for her son and the ongoing public scrutiny surrounding this investigation.
Green tea! A voice and an exuberant smile that have been missing for a year that Sebastian Rogers has gone without his favorite things.
Cats are the number one. He loves animals, almost all animals.
Animals, video games, books, and any chance in the pool.
He loves water. He swims like a fish.
Sebastian also missed his birthday.
December 7th. He turned 16, and
he would've. Go back.
Be home for that.
Let's catch
Sebastian, who has autism,
he should be home for that.
But Sebastian, who has autism, hasn't been home since February of last year. After dinner at the Texas Roadhouse on the 25th, Katie says she and her son went home.
Did anything happen the night he went missing that was caused him to run away? Was he punished in any way? An argument? Just a normal night?
It was a normal night. It was a calm night.
That turned tumultuous by the next morning.
It was when I went in his room and he wasn't there. He wasn't in his bed.
Katie says she frantically searched the house and drove around the neighborhood at 6:30 a.m. until she and Sebastian's stepfather, who says he was away for work at the time, called police.
We need you to search your properties every day.
But an Amber Alert and an extensive week-long search didn't yield one significant lead or even a glimpse of the boy on any doorbell cam video. Days later, investigators combed through a landfill 2 hours away, still saying they had found nothing.
There is no evidence to support foul play is involved in the disappearance of Sebastian. But at this point, you don't rule it out. We're not ruling anything out.
For the next year, any activity involving Sebastian's case would fuel droves of online followers and even a restraining order against one YouTuber.
There were quite a bit of people that were, sending some very threatening and hateful messages to us.
What would you say to those people?
Just stop.
Fox 17 News sent the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, the lead agency in the investigation, a list of questions in anticipation of this story, including asking if there are any new leads, what kind of evidence detectives have vetted, and if investigators still believe there is no indication of foul play. Sheriff Eric Craddock responded in an email saying, "This is an active and ongoing investigation. We continue to work with our state and federal partners. We will continue to seek a resolution in this case."
What do you believe happened to Sebastian?
Unfortunately, over the last year, I have thought every single day, night, every moment of every possibility of something that could happen to him, where he could have gone, if he had gone with someone, if someone took him willingly, unwillingly, if he'd run away and got lost, if he'd a million different things. And unfortunately, I don't know.
But Katie and a private investigator she retained believe this piece of surveillance video taken the night that Sebastian went missing could be a lead in the case.
1217, a couple 100 yards away, there's a figure.
The Sumner County Sheriff said the video has no relevance to the case, but the Proud is missing it until the identity of the person is confirmed by investigators. Unfortunately, any possible break in Sebastian's case has gone nowhere.
No child goes
Thanks, guys.
He's somewhere.
Sebastian's father, Seth Rogers, has also endured a year without his son.
Sebastian, son.
Seth brought in a team offering their own reward of $307,000. That's on top of the FBI's $50,000 reward.
Stop looking is to give up hope.
Hope that's still evident among volunteer searchers.
I'm not going to stop.
Missing signs and ribbons in Sebastian's favorite color.
God, right now we're seeking to reveal the truth to us.
Katie says detectives searching for that truth left no question unasked.
Lie detectors.
Yes,
For yourself.
and my husband.
Which Katie says they passed. We don't know what investigators say about the test, but Katie says they have searched her home.
Thoroughly, many times. Searchers.
What do police tell you at this point? What do they think?
Unfortunately, that they have zero evidence.
Zero trace of the boy with a smile that's imprinted on countless hearts, especially, Katie says, on her own.
I would just like to tell my son that I love him and we are never going to stop searching.
So a lost smile can be found. Anyone who believes they may have seen Sebastian Rogers should immediately call 1-800-TBI-FIND or the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. There is a vigil for Sebastian this Saturday, March 1st at 2 p.m. at the Celebration of Life Church in Hendersonville. And we will certainly continue to on any information we learn in his case.
All right, everybody. March 1st. If you're in the area, feel free. Stop by the church, pay your respects. Let's start with the YouTube nonsense. I don't follow Betty, but I don't see her being a threat. She's like a lot of people. A lot of us just shoot the shit up here, talk a lot of junk, okay? So I don't see Betty being a threat. I don't see anybody being a threat only because nothing bad has happened to these people. I'm not saying somebody wouldn't do something to these two. I'm just saying right now the two are walking free, living their best life, doing whatever they've been doing. So it is what it is. Number two, using the word evidence. Once again, twice you've now used the word evidence in an interview, you and Mr. Proudfoot. You mean trace, as the reporter just said. There's no trace of the boy, not evidence, because you don't know what evidence the state has. So that's a lie. And we know law officials will lie as not to give away information, okay? Searched your house several times. How many times have they searched your house? What did they find in your house, outside of your house, your car, your trucks, the RV? What has law officials found in all of their belongings? Did they have any storage units? The garage, the home, bathrooms? As I said, you check everything. The toilet, the sink, the tub, everything, the drains. You pull them up, you check everything because people flush things. As we learned with the Harmony Montgomery story, as vile as that story is, that father put remains of that girl in the tub. Stay woke. You don't know what a person will do to another human and the lengths they'll go to get rid of them and their remains. So this is why I said you check the tub drains, kitchen drains, all of that. All of that. It's barbaric as it sounds. You need to check all those things. Staring up to the sky once again. Who are you looking for up there? Who's up there, Katie? Since you say you pray to God. And so far, God hasn't answered your prayers, has he? Because we know that's a lie. You have not prayed to God to bring your son home. I believe you and Mr. Proudfoot know exactly where the child is. So there's no need to pray to God to bring him to you. As they say, you don't search for something you intentionally lost. You know, you threw away your shoes. You don't want them. You don't need them. You throw them away in the garbage can, dumpster. Do you go back in to retrieve them? Just saying. Just saying. Do you think she has regrets? She and this man, Mr. Proudfoot, getting rid of this child? Possibly. I don't know. Weigh in. I believe I've asked you this question in the past couple of months pertaining to the Proudfoots. If there are any regrets, remorse, if they unalive the boy child. Pausing, sighing. She did it in both interviews. Gasping for air. This is what you do when you're exhausted in talking about something, one, you don't want to be talking about. Two, you know you're lying. So you got to stick to a script. Speaking. She used past tense finally pertaining to her son and him turning 16 years of age. Let's go back to that.
They should be home for that.
But Sebastian, who has autism, hasn't been home since February of last year. After dinner at the Texas Roadhouse on the 25th, Katie says she and her son went home.
Did anything happen the night he went missing that was like caused him to run away? Was he punished in any way? An argument? Just a normal night?
It was a normal night. It was a calm night.
That turned tumultuous by the next morning.
When I went in his...
Do you believe it was a calm night, calm day? One person, he was overly stimulated, possibly took too long to calm down, get still. Perhaps he was making too much noise. She got offended, got upset, went in the room, something happened. Is that what happened, Katie Proudfoot? The child couldn't simmer down? Go to sleep. Did you two have words? Did you all make it from the steakhouse? That's what I want to know. That's where everybody needs to focus. Because like I said, we don't know what police know. So we got to go to the steakhouse. Did they go directly home from the steakhouse? Because until you can verify that steakhouse afterwards, everything afterwards is just words. Everything was fine. Everything was dandy. Great day. I don't know if it was a great day. Was it a great day? How was the whole weekend? What was the child's disposition from Friday up until Sunday? She's never going to tell you the truth. You know that.
Her son and the ongoing public scrutiny surrounding this investigation.
A voice and an exuberant smile that have been missing for a year that Sebastian Rogers has gone without his favorite things.
Cats are the number one. He does animals, almost all animals.
Animals, video games, books, and any chance.
Where are the dogs? Katie, do you still have his dogs? He loves all animals, mostly all animals. So wherever he is, you think he has a cat or dog with him? I'm talking to you, Katie. You think your child has a cat or dog with him? You think he's swimming in the back of somebody's swimming pool? Where is your son?
Chance in the pool.
He loves water. He swims like a fish.
Sebastian also missed his birthday.
December 7th. He turned 16. And 7th, he would have.
Sebastian also missed his birthday.
December 7th, he would have.
He would have. Katie, you caught yourself. You know you're using past tense. You caught yourself. He would have. Sigh, 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 sigh. I see some of you talking about her Tennessee accent. Where did it go? I don't know. Katie, they want to know, where's the accent? Katie, have you accepted the fact that your child is gone, he's not coming back? Sorry about that, everybody. They have put their feet in their mouths, these two dodo birds. Done. He would have. Oops. He turned 16 on the 7th. Are you sure you know how old he is? Hell, are you even sure you're his mother? I asked that question the other day too. Who are these two people? Katie and Christopher Proudfoot. Are they intimate? Because we've heard stories of people divorcing after their children go missing, children were found murdered, relationships bust up. So where do these two stand with one another? Because I'm sure it has taken a toll on their relationship. Because see, sometimes what you think is best for your relationship, such as getting rid of another human being to solve the problem, but I won't doubt it has caused problems with them as well. See, we don't know everything. We can assume, crack jokes, but we don't really know what's going on between the sheets and in the minds of these two people. And when you're talking about murder, just go ahead and say it, you have to remember one thing. Two people are holding the secret, allegedly. So if these two people are holding the secret, you're thinking what? They're going to continue to get along? See, you don't know that. And the other one always has to worry about the other one saying something. Checkmate. What if they rat me out? What if they tell my part? What if they put it all on me? That's a dangerous game to play. We're already in year 1. This story I saw the other day in the Newsbreak app. A young black girl went missing, and they believe that this elderly couple, they're elderly now, on a live term, many moons ago, about 40-something years ago or so. And the weird thing is thinking they're still together. This man and this woman. I believe the black lady was divorcing the white guy, and she goes out of town to meet him, but she's never seen again. Family never sees her again. So the woman who he ended up being married or marrying, they're still together, and they're older people now. So I was sitting there thinking about that the other day, thinking, damn, if they killed this black lady, they both have been holding this secret. It's a long ass time. Hold a secret of conspiracy, co-conspirators, unaliving the first wife, girlfriend, whatever, baby mama. So you see, there are people who hold a secret and they're still together. People still be together holding the secret. So that's what we have to ask about these two. If indeed they conspire to unalive a child, they know where the child is disposed, how long are they going to hold the secret pertaining to Sebastian Rogers? Just saying. Oh my God, what are y'all talking about? What y'all talking about? I'm pretty sure they both go cross-eyed when it comes to tab or slot B. Oh my God, I'm done with you guys. What are y'all talking about down in that chat? He's on wife number 5 and he still can't get it right. He ain't he ain't too good at this. Evil can take itself to the grave. Yes, it can. That's my point. That there are probably many people, exactly, who took a horrific crime to the grave. And they also had a co-conspirator with them. That they did not act alone. And so that's what I'm asking here in this conversation. If we believe that these two hurt this kid, disposed of him, how long are they going to carry the secret? Because we can say, oh, they're happy, they're doing well, they're glad they got rid of him. Well, to some degree. Because, you know, it's just like doing anything. It may have seemed right at the time you did something, especially if you know it's wrong. You thought, well, I'm going to do this because, you know, your self-serving reason. But then when there were ramifications, then you had to think, damn, this is costing me. Scrutiny, looks, names, news coverage. Was it worth it? And I asked that question the other day. So I'm going to ask it again before I check out of here. Katie Proudfoot, Mr. Proudfoot, was it worth it? Getting rid of this child, was it worth it? What are you all talking about? Tab A, slot B. I'm missing something. Do I need to go back up here and look at you all's comments? Because you all got me confused. Somebody says, I think he made it home. Just after 3 a.m., I believe it was premeditated and not just something happened. Okay. Kept the dogs. Well, I'm not going to say that they haven't done correct forensics on the house because I can't say. I'm not there. But if TBI got involved, then that's their job. That's their expertise is to do the investigation. I did scroll up. I still don't get what you all are saying. Tab A, slot B. What does that mean? Would somebody like to enlighten me? I'm confused. Tab A. I don't get what you all are saying. Say what? Break it down for Queen. What y'all talking about? I'd be very shocked if she ever admits to what they've done. Okay. Well, they don't have to talk. That's what people always do, eavesdrop. Making fun of what it must be like intimately for them. Oh, honey, I'm trying to figure it out. I thought tab A, slot who? Y'all sick. You still need to break it down for me. What the hell going on? You all are ill. They have a hard time reaching parts to part that. You know what? I gotta blow my nose on that one. I swear. Wait a minute. I'll be damned. Hey, isn't that what Roseanne Barr said about her and her husband years ago? During a news interview? Interview with somebody. She said, you know, as you get bigger, she said, it's kind of hard to have sex comfortably. I thought, wow, you're going to tell people that? I think most people know that. A lot of belly prevents things from, you know, reaching its destination. And then, too, if you don't really got much to work with, well, you know the rest. Shut your mouth. Hello, you sweetheart. So, not to be disrespectful pertaining to this being about Sebastian, but Katie, are you and Big Boy having problems? Literally. I would say something, but I'm not going to be nasty. Are you all having any type of marital issues? Mandy, please. Queen's got a lot of extension cords running around here. She's got to run cord here, cord B. Got to always keep an extension cord. You never know when you may need them. Oh my God. Now you all are showing out now. I don't see him being a wrecking ball. But hey, you never know. Do you all believe these two are happy? That's going to be the next question I put up on the post as a poll. 1 year later, are these two happy? Hell, are they intimate? Somebody might say, Queen, why are you asking that? Because it matters. Because when you're dealing with a person such as this, especially something criminal, it changes the dynamics between people. So what starts off as lovey-dovey, kissy face, as scrutiny comes along, you're not lovey-dovey, holding hands, kissy face, making love, because you're too busy worrying about what people are doing and saying about you. These two probably weren't even intimate when they were wrangling with Betty Bullhorn. Worrying about what she doing, what she's saying, all that court drama, Seth going to court with his team, and just a bunch of bullshit, you know? Just a bunch of bullshit. You should be trying to find your kid. You worrying about Betty Bullhorn. Betty Bullhorn or any other YouTuber or anybody in the community should be the least of your problem. So long as they're not on your front step trying to breach that front door, care what they're doing or what they're talking about. You suing Betty Bullhorn like she's fucking Beyonce or somebody with some fucking money. This ain't no P. Diddy story. This ain't no Jay-Z, Beyonce, P. Diddy type money. So what were you going to get out of Betty Bullhorn? Oh, just so she don't come near the house, don't make no videos. Well, there's still other people who make videos and can talk about you. So come on. Keep it real. Barb says, I would guess the glow has worn thin. I would say so. I think the cracks will begin to show. Probably have already. Yeah, the dynamics have possibly changed. You know they would. Because that's what we think, that everything's great. Hello, citizen. We think everything's all great with these people, but let's just be truthful. You have to use common sense. What could be great between two humans who have killed a kid, abused a kid, and then unalived a kid, dumped a kid? What could be great between the two? Hey, that's a very good question. As a matter of fact, I'm going to come back later. I will do a live on a continuation of the Proudfoots. This won't be about Sebastian, okay? Because I know that when we talk about these subject matters, people go on and on about this and that. We're going to talk about the Proudfoots the next live, and I'm going to do it this evening, and I'm going to drop the link. So feel free to come back and be daring enough to come up on the panel with the Queen. You can either show yourself, don't show yourself. And we're going to talk about where the Proudfoots are today. Okay? Today. This will not be a Sebastian topic. Okay? So I'm telling you now, before you come into the stream, this will not be a Sebastian topic. Because in the end, we already know he's the catalyst to where these fools are. Not on his own fault, because he's just a child. But we're going to talk about where they are today, what type of relationship they have now, and will Mr. Proudfoot be active? So just remember that in a few hours, I will be back. I'm going to drop the link. Feel free to hit the link and come up on the panel and give your opinion. And it will be a Proudfoot conversation. So there'll be no talking of Sebastian in that live stream, okay? So I'm telling you that now. I'm not going to address anything. I don't really like talking about him and these two in that type of, intimate way in the same conversation. But I mention it today because of the obvious reasons he's still missing. And if we believe that these two unalive the child, what is their life really like since he's been gone? Eventually, one or both will become paranoid at what the other is doing and saying. Exactly. That's why she looked at him in the second interview, because she was drowning up there in that interview. And she did the same thing last year in the first interview. She looked at him. Then he started talking. She can't maneuver without Christopher Proudfoot, which is a very dangerous dynamic. So we've weighed that option as well. Who was the ringleader? Who came up with the idea? Who's the more dominant one? Some of you believe she's dominant. Some of you believe she's more submissive. But they're still both cold. So in the end, it really don't matter, now does it? Chris Croft, oh my God, Still Waters. Girl, you a fool. That'll probably be the title of that video. Sunshine. Hot damn. I have to write that down so I can remember it. Next slide, everybody. We're going to talk about Mary Sunshine and Chris Croft. Make sure you bring your wine. And be daring enough to come up on the panel and give your opinion. All right. Thank you for joining me, sweetie. Somebody says she's not controlled by him. I'm not sure. It won't be too late. So right now it's 3:15 here in Tennessee, East Tennessee. I'll try to come on, probably no later than 8. Give me time to rest up. Get a few people in before people, have to get ready for work in the morning. I'll be back in a few hours. You all have time to think about what you want to say and questions you want to ask. I'm going to put up another poll as soon as I shut this live down. Do you believe that these two are happy? Do you believe they have a good relationship? That's my commentary. Check out both videos and interviews pertaining to Katie Proudfoot, Fox 17. She gives a singular interview. And then News 4, she and Christopher Proudfoot give an interview about 23 minutes long. You can go into Google search and pull it up in the said article. So far, I have not seen it in the YouTube queue. Thank you, Brooke. Thank you so much. Somebody says, I think Chris is indebted to Katie for sacrificing Sebastian for Chris, 5 CPS reports. Well, as I said before, you'd be surprised the people who separate divorce holding the secret. I think that would be the only reason that the two would stay together, is to watch the other one and make sure the other one don't ever give up the tea. Because I think they know that if they were to ever get out of each other's sight permanently, such as, divorce, they would be worried about what the other one would tell secrets, whispering to other people, strangers, because that's the old saying, out of sight is out of mind. And these two will be very leery of either one canoodling with other people. So I'm sure they both are walking a very tight rope together. They don't have outside friends, new friends. They probably don't do anything with new people, co-workers, because they are worried about the other one talking, gossiping, saying the wrong thing. As you've heard in these interviews, she slipped up with past tense on the child's birthday, sighing, pausing, looking up to the sky, looking down at the floor, not giving good eye contact in this interview. She gave a little bit of better interview in the News 4 interview, but it's still all over the place from this one to News 4 interview where she's giddy, laughing, making more positive conversation about the boy child, what he liked to do. It's all creepy. And it's only creepy because most of us think they killed the kid. Now, if we believe that they were good, decent people and the child's missing, kidnapped, we might not be too judgmental to say, oh, she's laughing, talking positive about her child, remembering him in a good light. But then somebody still would probably judge it and say, oh my God, I know it's a year later, but he's still missing. Why are you laughing? Why are you, everybody's entitled to their perception of things. And sometimes, as they say, what you think is going on ain't going on. So once again, could we be wrong? So I'll put that up as another poll as well. I've asked that question months ago. I'm going to ask it again now that we're at the 1 year mark. Do we have the wrong perception about the Proudfoots of their guilt? So it's going to be a 2 poll after this live. Feel free to go over to my community page and take the polls. You're gasping. You know why she's gasping. You're gasping because you're running out of things to say. You want the interview to be over with. Oh, here we go. Gotta lie, gotta come up with something. That's usually when people are lying. They pause, they gasp, they sigh. I know. I've dealt with, Mr. Professional lies on and off for months, and that's the one thing he does. And so, you know what I'm saying? He's probably one of the best liars I've come across in some time in my life. I mean, the lies have been endless, just one after the other. And that's something he does. I mean, you can even feel it through the text messages that he signed and, oh, stop, and, oh, all that. You already know. It's like, even if you're not talking to the person, you know they're signed. And I just thought, damn, how many lies can you spin? Aren't you tired of lying? Why are you lying? First and foremost, you have no reason to be lying. You're too old for this. You're not a kid. Grown ass. So that's why I always say, how far will a person go to cover their lies? That is the reason why we have true crime. It's because there's been deception and a person don't want to get caught. So people will exact murder to cover up their lies and their defrauding. And you'd be surprised what a person will kill another person over. The stupidest of stuff. That's why I said it's dangerous to be with a liar. Because a liar will go far out as not to be detected. And that's more dangerous than a thief. I don't care what anybody says. Exactly. Evil knows no bounds. What does law enforcement have to say now that they've heard these 2 interviews? Do they think that these people are involved in the disappearance of the child? Do they also believe that the child is dead? We will keep repeating the same questions until we get answers. Prayers to Seth Rogers. Prayers for everyone's safety that's going to attend the vigil here in Tennessee. If you're going to be traveling down here, please be safe. Be careful who you talk to. And most definitely be careful who you get involved with, as not to get yourself wrapped up in any social media drama that can get you thrown in court. We now know that these people like to sue, so you just need to be careful. Don't bother anybody. Don't film anybody. Don't go running up to people with cameras and, GoPros, whatever. Just leave these people alone, okay? Stay away from their door. Because it's not even worth your money being sued because you want to walk around and follow these people with a camera or iPhone. Just leave them alone. Don't say nothing to them. You want to talk about them in the comfort of your own home or on social media. That is your business, but know that there's always an eye in the sky and somebody's watching and listening. And as I said, these 2 like to sue. So, even being up here doing what I'm doing, my content, they could feel the same way. Well, we want her to stop making videos, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to stop talking about Sebastian, and I ain't going to stop talking about them. I think you hurt the kid, and that's what I think. That's my public opinion. I have free speech. I'm not threatening you. I'm not saying anything to threaten your life. I'm saying I think you two are liars. That's what I'm saying. I think you two harmed this kid. I think you two disposed of this kid. That's what I think. And as I said, even if they did not harm Sebastian, I still don't like them. I think they were not good parents. So like I said, in the end, don't even matter. It only matters to Seth because he wants his kid. He wants answers to his kid. But in the totality of it all, I don't think these people are good people. And they definitely don't need to be rearing children. They don't need a cat, dog, lizard, monkey, frog, nothing. They don't need to babysit. They don't need to have access to faith. And frankly, they don't need to be in relationships with other human beings. Period. Because I think they are sinister beings. And wherever they go and lay eggs, there is going to be some mischief in the midst. Like, share, subscribe, comments below this video. Take the polls on my community page after this video is uploaded. And join me back later. We're going to discuss Mr. and Mrs. Proudfeet. We're going to talk about the dynamics of these two and if the disappearance of Sebastian has affected their relationship. Remember, there will be no topic about Sebastian during that live. Do not talk about Sebastian in that live stream. Thank you. Follow the Queen on the Newsbreak app, where I give similar commentary and content. And if you'd like to donate to this great network, $BeGanji129 Cash App. Stickers and chats are welcome during the live stream. Thank you for the super sticker. Thank you so much. We'll be back, everybody, a little bit later, a couple hours. So get you some rest. Come back, sit back with a glass of wine, and we're going to chop up this lady here. Who is she? Who is her husband? Where are they today? Are they happy? Are they intimate? Or are they trying to find a way out of their relationship? I'll see you back soon. You have been listening to the Vault XL. Thanks for listening, everybody.